With fans everywhere buzzing, speculation ran wild over whether the highly anticipated full episode of New Heights, set to drop tomorrow, would finally see Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift announcing their marriage plans to the world as whispers about wedding bells grew louder following today's highlight reel. A mere teaser, since only a short portion of the long-awaited podcast had been released so far, leaving everyone guessing what the complete episode might reveal. Travis Kelce reportedly leaned closer to the microphone and said he liked the color Taylor was wearing, joking that it matched her eyes. Jason Kelce, always ready with a quick quip, agreed and said that was the reason for their perfect match. On the show, the brothers, sitting side by side, welcomed listeners to a new episode of their podcast, and as music played in the background, the world of sports and pop culture seemed to crash together in a way rarely seen. Monday, August 11th, marked a day when both American sports insiders and fans of global entertainment found themselves sharing an electric sense of anticipation. The spark for all this energy was a single announcement. New Heights, the wildly popular podcast hosted by NFL siblings Travis and Jason Kelce, had landed a guest whose presence was sure to break the internet. The guest was none other than Taylor Swift, the world's most recognizable pop star, and her confirmation as a special guest set every social media platform on fire. The buzz began as soon as the promotional image dropped, showing Travis Kelce relaxed in his signature light blue hoodie, giving off his familiar easygoing swagger at the podcast's mic. Beside him, Jason, fresh off his legendary Philadelphia Eagles career, wore a t-shirt bursting with personality. He grinned widely, his eyes shining with the kind of excitement that's hard to hide when you're holding on to a big secret. But the centerpiece of the image was Taylor Swift, framed perfectly between the two brothers, her iconic red lipstick popping and her blonde hair glowing with a mix of warmth and mystery. In bold blue letters, the poster announced New Heights Special. Premieres Wednesday, and in that instant, fans everywhere knew this was no ordinary podcast. For New Heights listeners, it felt like their very own Super Bowl. For Swifties, it was a rare backstage pass to a version of Taylor Swift, rarely glimpsed outside of sold-out arenas and glossy music videos. On the surface, the NFL and the pop music industry may seem worlds apart, but the relationship between the Kelce brothers and Taylor Swift had become a cultural phenomenon, endlessly discussed across talk shows, memes, and even sports broadcasts. Travis's relationship with Taylor had already become one of the year's biggest stories, popping up everywhere from headlines to playful in-game references. But this particular episode promised much more than the standard celebrity crossover. Fans braced for an unscripted, deeply human conversation peeling back the layers on life in the spotlight. Speculation swirled across Twitter and Reddit, with one fan writing that they finally understood why Jason seemed on the verge of laughter in recent episodes. He had been hiding the news of Taylor's appearance. Rumors hinted that the episode would abandon the usual script, favoring authentic moments, spontaneous laughter, and possibly even some tears. At the heart of it all would be the Kelce brothers' famous rapport, a blend of honesty and humor that always kept listeners returning, and the potential for Taylor Swift's own charisma to bring everything to another level. One segment that had fans talking was the expected dive into Taylor's past as a high school cheerleader. Before her global fame, she was just another student with pom-poms, and Jason was sure to ask whether Travis felt more pressure playing in front of screaming fans or knowing every camera was panning to catch Taylor's reaction in the stands. The episode promised not just laughs, but touching moments when the conversation inevitably turned to family. Taylor had already spent time with Donna Kelce, the family matriarch, and Kylie Kelce, Jason's wife. Listeners hoped for stories of Taylor at family dinners or NFL Sundays, not as a superstar, but as someone blending into the Kelce family chaos. Both Travis and Taylor were known for their relentless schedules, shuttling between games, practices, concerts, and flights, and fans were eager to hear how they found time for each other amid the madness. The episode would reportedly reveal those daily details, like how they stayed connected, how they unwound, and whether the rumors of a competitive streak in their relationship were true. Jason, never one to miss a chance to poke fun, planned to ask who was the better cook, and if Taylor had ever beaten Travis in a game. The banter between siblings would be on full display, and Taylor's own quick wit would keep things lively. Football fans wanted to know if Taylor would weigh in on key NFL moments, and Swifties wondered if she would let her guard down and share anecdotes never revealed before. More than anything, this podcast was shaping up to be a win for fans of both worlds. New Heights had already cemented itself as essential listening for sports fans, thanks to the brothers' humor and insights, but Taylor's appearance invited an entirely new audience, many of whom would tune in for her but stay for the Kelce charm. Chiefs fans celebrated Travis's off-field touchdown, and social media filled with posts praising him for scoring the biggest win of his life. For Swifties, this was a chance to see Taylor unfiltered, away from the carefully crafted image she usually projects. On New Heights, expectations ran high for real talk, laughter, and surprises. Jason Kelce's role could not be overlooked. He had always been more than just a football player. He was a natural storyteller and a locker room leader, and now, as a podcast host, he brought those skills to every episode. He was known for asking tough questions and poking fun at Travis, but always with a sense of warmth. In this episode, he was expected to juggle the roles of big brother, mischievous interviewer, and enthusiastic fan. His knack for keeping things light, even when discussions turned personal, was a big part of the show's magic. With Taylor Swift in the guest seat, he would certainly throw a few curveballs her way, all while making her feel welcome. Almost instantly after the poster's release, the internet erupted. Fan edits, memes, and artwork flooded timelines, and Swifties joined forces with NFL diehards for a digital tailgate. Commentators wondered aloud if New Heights was signaling a new era for sports podcasts, one where sports and entertainment could blend seamlessly and attract massive crossover audiences. The Kelce brothers had always been more than just jocks. They were storytellers, community voices, and now legitimate media moguls. With Taylor Swift as their guest, they had a chance to show what made podcasts unique: genuine connection, surprise, and the ability to reveal the real people behind the public images. Even those who weren't devoted to football or diehard Swifties found something magnetic about this upcoming episode. It was about family, humor, vulnerability, and the rare magic that happens when two worlds collide. The anticipation continued to grow as Wednesday drew near, and everyone knew this would be more than just another episode. It would be a cultural event, a snapshot of laughter and honesty, and maybe even a few secrets. Listeners were told to set reminders, charge their headphones, and get ready to experience New Heights like never before. This was the one episode nobody would want to miss, and it might even change the way people looked at sports, music, and the celebrities who make them unforgettable. As the team behind the scenes revealed, the episode was crafted as a true behind-the-curtain experience, aiming to let fans into the lives of Travis, Jason, and Taylor in a way nothing else had before.